Good evening, everyone. Welcome to DTR. We're with Division 3 today for their pre-season warm-up, and we're on board with Sheba, who's starting qualifying. We've only got 10 drivers out today, so we'll try and give as much coverage to each of those drivers as we possibly can. And it's Sheba and Niki Lauda who are going to start the day off. I know England and Wales are on at the moment. I will keep you updated with the score. Got the F1 on and the football on in the background. As Sheba gets away with track limits there by the look of it. Ran very, very wide. But on he goes. Sheba's about to come over the line to set the first lap of the afternoon with a 1:44.6. Niki Lauda puts in the second lap with a 1:44.9, and we've got a couple of drivers coming across the line now. Is that one of the Aston Martins that's just starting their lap? Or is he just finishing it? I think he's just finished it. Kazingle starts with a 1:45. Cav comes over the 1:45 as well. And I think Felix has started his hot lap as there are some raindrops starting to form. That'll spice things up a bit. So no wonder the first two went out as early as they did. As he's making his way down the first main straight. This is now entering Sector 3. Haven't seen a purple sector from him yet. As he now is coming up to the final corner. And a long way off the pace. Don't know if the rain is starting to cause problems, but Kazingle is out. We've lost him. Charlie's on an outlap. I'm not sure how much we're really going to see, and Charlie is invalidated. Not sure really how much more we're going to see, because if the rain continues to drop, people aren't going to improve on their times. So we'll have to hold on, and maybe I can do some commentary on the football while we wait for qualifying to end, unless everyone's in agreement that they go in the pit and end the session. But looks like RPM Huss is also out. Must have lost the car somewhere, and there is an update in the football. England have scored, and I'm just waiting to see who it is because my stream is behind my betting app. So I'll let you know who scored and how good the goal was any minute. And I think it's Rashford. I think it might be Rashford. England have got a free kick on my screen. Looks like Foden got taken out. As we're sitting on board with Charlie to see if he can improve. No one else seems to be really coming out of the pits. I think Rashford might have scored a free kick here. Could be wrong. I'm about to tell you. There's 3 England players around the ball. We've got Luke, Shaw, Henderson and Rashford. I know it's going to be Rashford that scores it. And I think it's going to be directly from a free kick. He's about 25 yards out. Oh, it's a banger. It's a banger. Far corner. And I've just seen England have gone 2-0 up just as I've seen the first goal. I'll talk you through that one in a minute when I see that one, but I've only just celebrated the first goal. So England 2-0 up. Not a lot going on in qualifying. It's raining. People have put their dry laps in. So we'll talk through the football, but all hell is breaking loose now. Yeah, England definitely 2-0 up. Not sure who it is. I'm still watching the first goal, which was a free kick, which Rashford has bent into the top far corner. It's free kick. It's just to the left-hand side of the goal as you look at it, and he bends it into the top right corner. Not quite in the top corner, but it was far enough away for the keeper couldn't reach it. So Rashford 1-0 from a free kick. We've gone 2-0 up. Haven't seen that goal yet, but it was done in pretty quick time, so I'll let you know when I see it. Must be quite a long way behind. Okay, so Rashford wins the ball back in the final third. Kane's got the ball, he squares it, and it's Foden at the back post. Is that Foden? It is Foden, back post, slots at home. So pretty much immediately from kickoff, Phil Foden taps it home from 6 yards. Round the back post, one back by Rashford. England pressed high. Kane with the ball across, Foden slots at home. 2-0 England. And you could say that is Wales' night over. Man like Donkey's gone out on intermediate tyres, and you've just seen he's out. He's just clattered the wall and his wheel has just fallen off. So I wonder if we're going to see Wales start to come out of their shell a little bit now, because they've got to come out, haven't they? Not really got much choice. Either that or they won't want to get embarrassed, I don't know. But there's no point in sitting back on it. Be interesting to see if England make any subs as well. Surely we can afford to rest some players now. Charlie's on an out lap. Charlie is going out for a run on his inters. I think Nicky Lauda's come back out. He's started a lap. But I think a 1:44.6 is going to be hard to beat in wet conditions. So if you've just joined, England 2-0 up. Things looking good. Sheba's put in a 1:44.6 when it was dry. And Wales have just had an effort palmed wide off a deflection. It's a good save from Pickford. He was wrong-footed. Makes a save and it goes for a Wales corner. But Charlie is in the second sector, making his way around the track. So yeah, Sheba set the 1:44.6 in the dry conditions just at the start of the session. It's been raining since. And we've had a few cars come out on inters to try and just top themselves at the grid, but a few have really struggled. We saw a man like Donkey put it into the wall. Didn't see what happened to Robzu, RPM or Kazingle. But they are out of the session. And England now look like they're making some mass changes. Try and rest some of their players. Charlie sets his time 1:58, so the track's just not in good enough condition to set anything else really. So yeah, England making some substitutions. Carl Walker's coming off, Kane is coming off, and Rice is coming off. Declan Rice. And it looks like we've got Phillips, Wilson, and I think Trent I can see coming on to replace him. I think Charlie's on a second flying lap on those inters. Charlie has given up on the cause, I think. Nicky Lauda's invalidated. Felix has gone out. Can I have a little watch of him? As Wales are now making some subs. Didn't see who came off. I think it might have been Ben Davis, and they've got Morrill coming on. That's happening in the group game. USA are still 1-0 up. Iran have only had one shot, so goodbye Wales. What's happening with Felix? Why is he parked on the track? And that's the end of the session. So Sheba, who was quick out the blocks to get a time set with a 1:44.6, takes pole. Nicky Lauda in second, 1:44.9. Kazingal manages to put a time in before he binned it, 1:45.1. Cav in fourth. Athanius in fifth. Robsu in sixth. Man Like Donkey in seventh, first of the inter-runners. Charlie put a time in eighth, and the other two did not set a time. Well, Felix did, but he got disqualified for parking on the track, but he must have known the time was running out. I've just heard from RPM to say he crashed on an in-lap. No good, sir. No good. So Aaron Ramsey picks up a yellow card. Things you love to see. If Wales were going to be in the next round, he'd still be able to play, but they're not going to get through, so go ahead, mate. Cropped Henderson. Studs up. Not enough for a red card, though. So, formation lap. Formation lap is underway. Let's have a look at tyre choices. 3 hard runners. Robsu, Man Like Donkey and RPM. Going for the alternate strategy. Wouldn't mind a early-ish safety car so they can take the lead of the race. And we'll let them warm their tyres up before the start of the race, and then we'll join them for their 22 laps around this track in Belgium. Should we have a little bet on how many people are going to lose it up Eau Rouge on the first lap? I'm going to say 2 people and 1 will retire. So Sheba starting on pole, who famously ended Bog's Race of Champions at the very last corner. Has the opportunity to drive off out into the distance from pole position. Nicky Lauda will be trying to stop that in second. Kazingal in third. Cav in fourth. We've got Felix in 10th. My teammate from last year. He's a good sport, bless him. And if he can race consistently this year, he will do well. I'm not sure if he's going with the no traction control tonight or not, but he's been practicing without it. Had a bit of a mare yesterday, and I can't get a very good camera angle here, so we'll stick on board with Sheba, watch the lights, and then I'll try and change it, see what happens. But the lights are coming on, 5 lights are on, and off they go, and Sheba gets off to a very good start, and the Red Bull of Nicky Lauda's got off to a good start, but the 2 behind them are side by side. Can we see very clean through the first corner as there's 2 out before Eau Rouge, and it's Kazingal who seemed to lose it, and I think he's taken Charlie with him. So So I'm not sure. It's not showing that they're out. So have they been able to continue? It's a severe collision. No, they're able to continue. So no safety car coming out. So Sheba keeps the lead of the race. And then as you can see, Felix has made up 3 places. He's now in 7th place. And looks like RPM's probably the closest person on track. He runs a little wide there, but he's got no one behind him. As Niki Lauda's putting a bit of pressure on Sheba now up front. So let's watch this. This is the battle for the lead. Niki Lauda in his Red Bull for this year. Sure, he was in the Aston Martin last year. As Sheba looks a little bit untidy. I wonder if he's got low wings, which makes him really slow through the corners. Because you can see that he's now starting to pull out a little bit of a gap down the straight. You can see the strategies down the bottom. You could do a one-stop, medium to hard, or there's soft, medium, medium as a strategy. And just getting news that England have scored a 3rd. And when it comes up on my screen, I'll describe it to you. But for now, we will watch Niki Lauda and Sheba fight this out. And I think there must be a bit of a problem with that timing screen. I don't think Arthanios is that far behind, as you do see him get a little bit sideways out of the first corner. So let's just jump on with Robsu for a bit in the Alpine. It's his new car for this year. I think he was in the Alpha Tauri last year. Man like Donkey picking up a penalty in the Red Bull just behind the Alpine. And Robsu looks like he's going to get this done. And he does. So Arthanios drops a place. RPM has got past Felix. Looks like he's dragged him down the straight. And Felix drops back into 8th. And the Mercedes moves up. As you can see that Arthanios, can't say his name, is trying to fight back on Robsu. But Robsu looks like he's completed that overtake. And you can see that Niki Lauda, again, just in these corners, is really starting to pull back the time on Sheba, but it seems to have been a bit neater through here this time, and it's pulled out a 3/10 gap and will probably disappear off the road when he gets back onto that straight. So haven't seen the England goal yet, but Trent Alexander-Arnold has just played a ball over the top to Rashford, who's on the right wing currently. He's now made his way into the box, little step over, shoots, and he's nutmegged the keeper who was on his line, and that is 3-0 England. Brilliant goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold pinged the ball over the top on the right wing. Rashford cuts inside, does a little bit of trickery and bangs it through the keeper's legs. 3-0 England. And you'd probably say game over. So just going to look back up at what's been going on. So that so it looks like Arthanios must have gone for a spin, because he's now dropped down into 8th. I didn't see that. I was too busy watching Rashford. So he's dropped back into 8th. That promotes Felix and RPM. And they're still in touch, but there's a bit of a gap forming. Robsu's 2 seconds behind Cav. Cav is a 1.5 behind Niki Lauda. Niki Lauda is dropping a second back from Sheba. So race is getting a bit spread out. Let's jump on with Man Like Donkey, who's trying to give Robsu a bit of a hard time. And just while we wait for a bit of action on here, USA are still 1-0 up. And if you've only just heard, England have made it 3. Made quite a few subs. So resting up. Ready for our game against, I believe it'll be Senegal. We got through earlier today. So Man Like Donkey running a little bit wide there. Didn't look like he got on the brakes quick enough, and it's brought Huss onto his rear wing. So let's join Huss and see if he can make any inroads. Felix might just be losing touch behind him. 8 attempts back. Not really seen him get too close to Huss. But it looks like a man like Donkey is making his way back to the rear wing of Robsu at the start of this train. So not sure if man like Donkey got a bit of wheel spin out of the final corner there, but did see him jolt slightly to the right as Huss starts to put some more pressure on, just closes that gap up a little bit more. It's down to 4/10 now, and he will have the benefit of DRS down this long back straight. So you can see Robsu, man like Donkey, RPM, and then Felix just in the background. The DRS just wasn't strong enough there, as you can see Kazingle's put on some soft tyres, puts in a 1:47.8. Those soft tyres will not last long at all, really. 3 or 4 laps probably at most. As there's some yellow flags, looks like it's Athanius, can't say his name, really sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And I think it may have caused a safety car. Yeah, he's ploughed it into the barrier. I think it's a virtual. So Robsu, the first of the hard runners. Man like Donkey and RPM Huss behind. So Felix on the mediums was losing touch. As Rashford's just making another run into the box. Nice little layoff from Callum Wilson. Another shot on target for Rashford. Keeper puts it around the post with his foot at the near post. England get a corner, and I think we're racing again now. So let's get back on with this fight for 4th, 5th and 6th. Get rid of the tyre choices. Cav and man like Donkey have both got penalties. Robsu's out. I missed it. It's up at Rouge. I didn't see him go. Well, I completely missed that, and it hasn't caused a safety car either, so he must have been a long way off the track. I wonder if he's just tried to pin it and lost the rear end. That's unfortunate. So Robsu has gone, which means that the closest battle on track then is RPM, who is now a second behind, and Felix probably then. The next man to talk about, 7/10 back. Not a huge amount really to be talking about here, so I'll let it run, and I'll talk through anything that happens. So England 3-0 up. I think they're making some more substitutions, probably sensible, rest some players. USA still winning 1-0, so that's England and USA through. England will go through top, and we'll play Senegal at some point. Can't remember what day they play. I'll have a little Google whilst everyone's trying to make a race of it. So it looks like we play at 7 PM on the 4th of December, which is a Sunday. Rashford is off, Grealish on. Southgate and Rashford sharing a little cuddle. They look pretty happy with each other. Good night's work for Rashford. Does England win another corner? Not too much to talk about in the racing so far. PM still 6/10 behind Man Like Donkey. Felix is on the medium tyres. Two in front of him are on the hard tyres. Robsu's the only person that we've lost so far, and he lost it up Eau Rouge. I didn't see it, but Sheba from the lead of the race picks up a 3-second penalty, so could make that battle at the front a little bit more interesting, because he's now going to have to pull out another second and a half if he's going to win this. RPM getting ever closer. Still don't think he's going to be close enough by the corner, and he's not. So he's just got to see how much of that gap he can maintain and have another pop down the final straight before we get to the chicane at the pit straight. As Dan James is coming off, and they're bringing, is it Harry Wilson? Please come on. As RPM gets past Man Like Donkey, who's had a spin, and again too busy looking at the football, but RPM gets back underway, so that promotes Felix to 5th, RPM up into 4th, and RPM now with some clear air. See if he can start making some inroads into Cav's little lead that he's got. 5 seconds is what he's got to find, and RPM now is the front runner on the hard tyre, and everyone is over a second, but Nicky Lauda has started to reel Sheba in a bit now, so I don't know if Sheba made a mistake or whether Nicky Lauda's just picked up the pace, but that looks closer than a second. Maybe just because it's a slow corner. But some pretty big gaps on track now, so not a huge amount to talk through really. So I'll let you watch Nicky Lauda try and close that gap. And if I see any of those other gaps drop, I will switch over. Man Like Donkey picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. As I say, this is a pre-season warm-up for Division 3. I think we're quite short on numbers today, probably because of the football, to be honest. So the grids will be better in the coming weeks. And Nicky Lauda's now broken that second barrier. So not sure if Sheba's starting to struggle on those tyres. I mean, you've definitely got definitely set his wings quite low because he's rapid in a straight line. Nicky Lauda starts to pull it back in the tricky sector 2. You can just see, like, through the areas where there's tight corners, Nicky Lauda just comes right back at him. And I wonder if just having those low wings has maybe caused a little bit more tyre wear than Sheba would have liked, because he is ever closer. And I think now that by the end of sector 2 it might start to become a bit of a drag race for the lead of the race. But we're not too far away from the pit window now either. I can't see what the degradation's like on their tyres. But you would say that Niki Lauda looks to be the happier of the two on the tyres that we've got currently. As you can see, Shiba will run wide again there, just in the distance. So Shiba comes in for his stop, which promotes Niki Lauda to the front of the pack. Cav's now in second. Huss is in third. Let's see. Stick with Shiba. He's net leader of the race. He's done his pit stop. He's now on the hard tyre. And Niki Lauda will be trying to undercut him, I believe. So let's stick with him and see if Niki Lauda can do it. I mean, he looked a lot quicker at the end. So Shiba has got a 4-second gap. There's not really anyone any closer. You've got man like Donkey's a second behind Shiba. But I think the real race here is seeing how quick Niki Lauda can get in and out of the pit. So let's see if he comes in to cover off. He does come in. So did he do enough on his in lap to get out in front of Shiba? Let's sit on board with Shiba. So Shiba is rounding onto the pit lane, and RPM does not pit, which gives him the lead of the race. So Shiba is on his way. You can see that the Red Bull of Niki Lauda is making its way out the pit. So he is just joining the straight now. I think he might have just done it. He has. But Shiba's going to be carrying some speed. And this could be side by side up Eau Rouge. Give me a better camera angle. No, it's not. So Shiba does just about come out in front. So let's join Niki Lauda. So 4/10 is the gap. Niki Lauda will need to just be a bit cautious with cooler tyres. Get them into the working window, and he will come back at Shiba later on. Nearly made the overcut work. As Charlie picks up a 3-second time penalty. And we've got Cav, who's pitted, who's closing in on man like Donkey. So let's jump on with Cav for a bit and see if he can close that gap up. He's now within a second. And as I say, it goes out. But Shiba picks up another 3-second penalty. It's going to be costly for him at the end of this race. Niki Lauda is winning this race from second place because of the penalties. Sheba sets the fastest lap of the race. And Cav is now within half a second of Man Like Donkey. So, bit of a drag race. Cav is still in behind, up Eau Rouge. He sort of gets squeezed, but managed to pull back to the inside of the track and get the overtake done. So Cav up into 4th place, probably net 3rd when RPM does come in for his stop. RPM was the guy that started on the hard tyres. So we'll go a little bit longer into the race. Might come in probably the next lap or two, really. Mediums will get into the end. So England is still 3-0 up. USA look like they're still 1-0 up. So that's England and USA through, Iran and Wales going home. Which means that England will play Senegal, I think it was, that got through earlier, as runners up in Group A. And then Netherlands went through top of that league, which means that they will play USA, I believe. Man Like Donkey's dropped about 1.5 seconds back from Cav. RPM is now in the pits, so we're about to find out where he comes out. I imagine he's going to pop out in front of Felix, but maybe not, because Man Like Donkey's come into the pit. So yeah, he will still come out in front of Felix, as we've now got a yellow flag. What is that for? I think it was for Felix coming around the final bend. Must have just lost it, but RPM comes out into 4th place. Felix gets past Man Like Donkey, back into 5th place. Stick on board with Felix for a little while. Not really any cars around him. Nicky Lauda's within a second, so we'll join him if that gap keeps dropping. So Frenchman's neat and tidy. Down the hill through sector 2. Got a long way to go to catch RPM, and you can see that Nicky Lauda has just dropped back out of a second, and I think it's just because of the straight line speed of Sheba. Low wings, great straight line speed. Charlie 3-second penalty again. Do I dare look at this penalty page, because it is littered. Sheba on 6, Cav on 3, Man Like Donkey on 9, Charlie also on 9. Got to keep it in the white lines, boys. So RPM has caught Cav. Nicky Lauda keeps dropping into range of Sheba for DRS, but not really getting close enough to overtake. England get a corner, and it's now a goal kick, so it looks like it's a waste of a corner. For those of you who don't know, England 3-0 up. USA beating Iran. England USA go through as it stands, as RPM is now within half a second of Cav. right on his tail now. Nearly pushing him around, but the man like donkey picks up another 3 seconds. I think that's 12 on him now. As Callum Wilson's been allowed in. The Welsh defence got a bit mixed up on who was going to go and get the ball, and Wilson's managed to nip through, and Trent whips the ball in. But it's dealt with by Wales. Henderson. That's not Henderson, sorry. Not sure who that is. Can't see the number. A bit far away. But anyway, Wales get it out for a throw-in. But RPM's putting some pressure on Cav. So RPM will get DRS. Not going to look to see what his ERS is at, just to make sure we're not being unfair to anyone. As Felix spins into the first corner. And I wonder if he has decided to run with no traction control. Just got a bit greedy on the gas. As Stones gets a shot on goal. I can't tell whether the keeper's tipped that over or not. Don't think he has. Probably should have done better. RPM back within 3/10 again. I wonder if Cav's just got a little bit lower wings, which is why RPM's just not catching him in the straight. You can just see that through sector 2 really closes the gap up, and I think we saw at this part of the lap earlier that he nearly sort of pushed him round the track. Looks like Sheba's decided to pit. Not sure what he's pitting for. Has he gone on to soft tyres? Let's have a look. Comes in from fresh mediums. Interesting. Don't think he can win the race from there. Very strange call, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. The England game has now finished. 3-0. USA look like they're going to win 1-0. So RPM again, just getting close through sector 2. Charlie picks up another 3-second penalty. And RPM tries to chuck it down the inside. That looked like a big lunge. Oof. Don't think Cav will be too happy about it, but we got through. They both survived. Couldn't see any damage. Was Cav late on the brakes? Don't know if he was trying to send a lunge back, but yeah, I wasn't going to make that happen. Man like Donkey picking up another 3-second time penalty. You can see RPM has really opened the gap as Zingle and something's gone on with Man Like Donkey. Drops back. I think Kazingle and Athanasiu. I don't know, I can't say it. I'm just going to keep calling it Athanius. It's just easier to say. Seem to get through. Kazingle's not had the easiest of races. Felix has closed the gap to Shiba, but I think that's only because he pitted, which again was a very strange decision. He's not going to take 16 seconds out of cab, I don't think. There's only 4 laps to go. Means that he has to be 4 seconds a lap quicker just to get behind him. Probably not going to happen. But he just set the fastest lap of the race. Not really any close battling going on track, so sticking with Felix because he might spin, and it's worth watching. But as I say it, Charlie DNFs. I'm not really sure how he's done it there. That's a pretty straight bit of track. So Felix is dropping back from Shiba. Shiba's had a lot of pace. Charlie's just messaged saying he doesn't know how he's lost it. I mean, I wasn't on camera with you, Charlie, but yeah, he was on a pretty straight bit of track, mate. But congratulations. I can't talk. I spin more frequently than you do, my friend. Who haven't we given any airtime to? I haven't done too much of Kazingle because he smashed Charlie up at the start. But he's just been trying to catch his teammate in front of him, 15 seconds back. Showed some really good pace at the end of last year. Sure, he won a Div 4 race last year when he was in Div. Was he in Div 5? I think he was. And to be honest, I think he's got the pace to even be in. I think he could get into Div 2, but looks like he's just where he's got a little bit quicker, might just be sneaking some mistakes into his game. But this guy, I'm again call you Arthanius, can't say your name, really sorry. But he also showed a bit of pace last year. I think he ended up being, was it Fox Blue's teammate in Division 3? So he can do it. As he just gets a bit hot on the gas, probably too much wheel rotation. Just be careful about coming back on the track. There's no one about, luckily. His tyres will be roasting. So, not been the best spectacle, to be honest. It's been very spread out. Not a huge amount to talk about, but it's all good practice for these guys who will be starting their proper season. So looks like USA are through, but there's been a bit of controversy. I'm just reading some notes. Maybe should have been an Iran penalty late into extra time, but we don't care. We're through. Said about after Sheba's pit, whether he could make up 16 seconds. He's caught at 5 seconds, but. A bit of a strange decision to pit, to be honest, and well, he's going to lose. Is he going to lose? No, he's not going to lose a place to Felix. Unless he's picked up tons more penalties that I haven't seen. He's on 9 seconds. So Felix needs to find 3 seconds on him, but I don't think that's going to happen either. Because I think Niki Lauda is just about to start his final lap. Some yellow flags. Whoa! The McLaren in the middle of the track. Niki Lauda's on his last lap. It's been a solid drive actually from Niki. Never let Sheba get too far away from him. Penalty started coming in and he knew he just had to hang around, and Sheba, for some strange reason, decided to pit. I wonder if he picked up some damage, but Athanius left the session, which is a shame. Right at the end of the race. But this car looks like it's continuing. Hopefully it doesn't get in anyone's way. Niki Lauda making his way around. Good race from RPM as well, to be fair. He's had a solid race. He started on the hard tyre. He's made the alternate strategy work. Picked off Cav after his pit stop. Felix had a couple of spins, but on the whole, I think he'll want more pace, but can't be too disappointed because Ingle had a bad incident at the start. Didn't really see what happened, just saw it happen in the background. And that's Niki Lauda. Takes the pre-season win. Well done. man like Donkey's just got penalties coming out of his backside. And then Thanius, we saw him retire. So, good season opener. We'll let man like Donkey come over the line, and then we'll end the stream there. But for any of you that's looking to get into league racing on F1, feel free to come and join us here at DTR. We've got 5 main divisions, and then we've got 2 Division Zeros running, which is drivers of all ability, but the points are shared a little bit differently to make it fair for each divisional driver. So come and join us. Midweek races, lots of fun to get involved in, but some good pre-season testing for these boys. And well done for Nicky Lauder, RPM and Cav, who are all on the podium. And we'll see you next week for the season opener for season 5.